Ghost Girl Banana by Wharton, published by Hodder and Stoughton. And this is a novel that is a dual timeline novel that is set in the 1960s going to the 1970s, both in South London and Hong Kong, and then picks up again in 1997, also in Hong Kong. And that is set against the backdrop of the handover from Britain of the island to China. And that makes kind of quite a poignant backdrop for the story, because it brings both countries together, and there is a moment when it belongs to no one, and that is the echo of the story of biracial people who struggle really to fit in and understand their environment and to be accepted. I love the cover. I think it's a really eye-catching cover with the red and the green, the lime green. So this is one to watch out for in your local bookshop. The novel opens in 1966, I think, with Sook-Yin, who is a young woman who is kind of banished from Hong Kong by her family, and she arrives in London to take up a new position training as a nurse. But because her language skills, particularly the written ones, are a bit tricky, she doesn't do so well, and so she leaves the training course and she goes to work as a nanny for a family who also have connections to Hong Kong. And it is her story as she moves through her life into the 1960s, 70s, contrasted with her daughter who picks up in 1997. That is Lily. Lily has a sister called Maya, who's a slightly older child. And it is Lily's quest to understand her family, because there are so many holes in their story that she kind of needs to find. And then it is all brought to a head when she receives a notification from a solicitor saying that she has been left a legacy, but there are conditions attached, and those conditions, one of them is that she must go back to Hong Kong to pick up the money, as it were, but perhaps there is something else afoot. You get a real sense of what it must have been like in the 1960s for a woman to come from Hong Kong to live in London and to acclimatise, to fit in. She eventually ends up marrying Julian, who is perhaps not all he is thought to be. And she makes do. She has her two children. She has Lily, she has Maya, and she works really, really hard. So the determination of this woman to actually forge a life for herself against an incredible set of odds is really, really admirable. She eventually then goes back to Hong Kong. Lily, several decades later, also goes to Hong Kong. And it is the contrast of these two lives and the melding of their stories, and for Lily to understand, more about her family. And what I can say is the writing is really energetic. I think somebody has referred to it as being quite sparkling. It has a real alacrity, what an old-fashioned word about it, but it does. It's busy and it's energetic, and I really liked it for the sense of style of writing. So if you're looking for something that will take you to Hong Kong at a very poignant part of its history in the main, then Ghost Girl Banana by Wharton would be a book to pick up and put on your shelves.